Okay, settle in because we are about to plunge into a story where life takes one of those utterly unexpected sharp turns.
Yeah, you know that feeling.
Exactly. Like one minute you're just navigating the daily grind, and the next, this invitation arrives that just flips everything on its head.
Hmm.
That's exactly where we start our deep dive today, exploring a really fascinating stack of source material specifically, excerpts from a novel.
Right. And we're focusing on one woman's journey here, Zoe.
Yes, Zoe. When these sources introduce us to her, she's a single mom, living in the valley, working incredibly hard.
Just raising her son, Simon, on her own. And her life, well, the text paints it as full of long hours, constant money worries.
And this kind of persistent dream of something more, but feeling pretty stuck, right?
Yeah, trapped is a good word. The description's vivid, too long black hair, golden brown eyes,
Mhm.
features that are shy but also kind of exotic, like she's watching, waiting for something.
And then, bang, the moment everything changes.
Hmm.
The sources really highlight this unexpected invitation to a place called Warrior's Peak.
That's where she meets Malory and Dana.
But it's not just a meeting, is it? The text notes she got, what, $25,000?
Yeah, a huge amount. Just for agreeing to something they call the fantastic.
So right away, the stakes are clear. This isn't your average, weekend getaway.
No way.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really explore how Zoe navigates this sudden, almost mystical jolt to her reality.
How she goes from feeling boxed in by circumstances to, well, building a business, going on a quest.
Finding love, completely redefining family and home for herself. It's quite a journey.
It really is. And we'll trace that through the sources, looking at this surprising mix of magic, sheer hard work, personal growth, and definitely the power of relationships.
Okay, let's unpack this journey. Starting with one of the first big things the sources show her pouring energy into, building a business.
Indulgence.
Right. And the concept behind indulgence is really lovely, actually. Nourishment for mind, body, and spirit.
So it's planned as this unique combination: a salon, day spa, but also a bookstore and gallery. Yeah, exactly. Different kinds of care, different ways to feed the self.
And the sources, they don't gloss over the work involved. Building this dream wasn't glamorous at all.
Oh, not at all. It was intense, physical work. Transforming the building with Zoe right there alongside Mallory and Dana.
The details in the text are so vivid, aren't they? Like plywood on sawhorses for a table.
Buckets and ladders for chairs, hanging cabinets, wrestling shelves into place, really building it from the ground up with their own hands.
Getting dirty day after day. That hands-on work, it makes the progress feel real.
Totally. And the source mentions a specific moment where it felt really real when the first actual stock arrived.
Oh, right. Seeing the shelves, the books, the supplies, that must have been huge. Shifting it from just an idea to something solid.
Yeah, you can imagine that feeling. And then there's this unexpected help that comes along.
Brad.
Yes, Brad. This executive from Homemakers. He arranges and pays for the window installation.
And that note he sent, don't argue this timing, or it tells you something about their dynamic already, doesn't it?
It really does. And it felt like such a concrete step, tangible support, partnership, helping make the business physically happen.
What's fascinating, though, is how Zoe sees this help. The sources show her feeling like these moments, even getting the building, feel like miracles.
But she also quickly realizes, and the text highlights this, that they weren't just passive recipients, they made it happen.
Right. Through their work, their risk-taking, their belief, it wasn't just handed to them, they built it.
Exactly, they earned it.
Okay, speaking of what truly matters most in these sources, let's shift to the core relationships. The absolute center, the heart of her world, is clearly Simon, her son.
Absolutely. The sources really ground us in their dynamic. The Homer struggles, her being fiercely protective, just navigating life together.
Simon is definitely her anchor. But what the sources depict so well is his developing bond with the men who enter their lives, Flynn, Jordan, and especially Brad.
And for Zoe, the text really emphasizes how huge this is. Simon had never had an adult male take a real, consistent interest before. Yeah, that's significant. And the way that bond forms, it's not always big, dramatic stuff. It's in those simple human moments, like the story about Mo the dog.
Oh, the toilet paper incident. Right.
Yeah. Simon's just giggling in the middle of the mess, and Brad just steps right in, helps clean up. Just a slice of normal, kind of chaotic family life.
Effortlessly including Brad. It feels natural.
It does. And these everyday things, they pave the way for something deeper, like that incredibly profound man-to-man chat Simon has with Brad.
Asking about making babies and marriage. Wow.
Yeah, basically this little boy is vetting him. checking him out as potential dad material.
And the text marks Simon's acceptance of Brad as a potential dad as a really key moment for them.
Absolutely pivotal. And then almost right after that, the puppy arrives.
Homer,
Yeah,
named after baseball and cartoons.
that's the one. And Simon's immediate joy, his connection with the dog, is just pure happiness in the text, a real bright spot.
So, moving beyond that immediate family unit, Malory and Dana, the sources show them becoming Zoe's chosen family.
Definitely. They started as fellow guests, tied by the mystery, but they quickly become her rock. Business partners, yes, but so much more. Her emotional foundation.
They're there for the hard renovation work, the pep talks when she doubts herself.
Just listening when she needs to process everything. And their own journeys are woven into Malory's painting, Dana's book, and Peak Connection.
Their quests sort of run parallel, supporting hers.
Exactly. It's all intertwined. And for Zoe, this group is the family she made.
The source explicitly notes that, doesn't it? That powerful realization she feels closer to them than her biological family, and without guilt.
Yeah. It's like they're the more she was looking for, but maybe not in the way she first imagined.
Which brings us neatly to Brad Vane. Introduced as this successful, executive, wealthy, confident part of a legacy business.
Seems like a totally different world from Zoe's, doesn't it?
Completely. But the moment he saw her, the source makes it clear he was just captivated.
That story about the painting, him being undone by that face, it's such a strong, immediate reaction. Sets the whole thing in motion.
And his pursuit, well, as it's shown in the sources, it's not just romantic. It's incredibly supportive.
Definitely. Arranging the windows, standing up for her against her difficult mother.
Taking Simon under his wing, to homemakers, his place, video games, pizza. He consistently shows up, not just for Zoe, but for Simon, too.
Which is huge for her. But accepting it isn't simple for Zoe, is it?
No, the sources show this real internal conflict, this desire for connection, battling her fear of dependence, of getting hurt again.
Yeah, rooted in her past. With Simon's father, James, and that strained relationship with her own mother.
She has that analogy, doesn't she? Deciding if something is a wall or a walk.
Right. Is this building a path forward or a wall that could trap her? It's a powerful image of her hesitation.
And Brad's perspective adds another layer. He wasn't expecting any of this either.
No, the text says he came back planning to focus on business, and suddenly he's spun into a search for mystical keys and falling for this cautious single mom.
But he seems pretty determined, despite her pushing back sometimes.
Unwavering, actually. The narrative really shows his commitment.
The sources also detail those moments of physical closeness. The kiss.
Yeah, leaves her stomach fluttering.
And that encounter in the attic bedroom where she feels her body coming alive again.
They're portrayed as really vulnerable moments, aren't they? Highlighting the feelings, but also Zoe's hesitation, her need to be sure, for herself, and especially for Simon.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and look at the quest itself. This whole magical thread woven through the story involving Rowena, Pitt, and the bad guy, Kane.
Right, and Zoe doesn't just get a map. She has to figure out how to find her key.
Exactly. Her process, as the source describes it, involves research. Celtic myths, notes, the internet.
Yeah, it's almost like she's trying to apply her practical skills, her hairdresser skills, even trying to clip and style her way through these mystical clues.
But the sources make it clear it's not just an external hunt, is it? It's deeply internal, too.
Oh, very much so. She visualizes her life as paths in a forest, thinking about her choices. And then there are those surprising visions the text mentions.
Seeing herself in reflections, like in a city office, where she should have been, the source says.
Yeah, it's poignant. It feels like these visions represent an alternate life. Maybe the one she might have had if things had gone differently.
So the source suggests these visions force her to confront her potential past decisions.
Seems like it. Integrating the paths not taken, maybe. Understanding the why behind where she ended up.
And part of this involves physically confronting her past, too. Visiting her childhood home area near Morgantown.
Right, the woods, the trailer court, and having that difficult run-in with her mother.
Who still seems pretty judgmental based on the text. That must have been tough, facing that directly.
Definitely. And this confrontation with the past includes that really disturbing illusion Kane pulls.
Using the image of James, Simon's father, in the woods, trying to trick her.
Yeah, a really cruel tactic to throw her off balance.
But her reaction, as shown in the text, it's quite powerful, isn't it? She recognizes it's a lie.
She does. And instead of being defeated, the source shows her actually using it as a turning point, separating the past from the future she's building.
And through all this, she has that key realization. The key isn't just hidden somewhere.
No. The sources really emphasize this. It's tied to her journey, to understanding her past, the whys behind her choices, both the ones she made and the ones she didn't.
Was it specific moments or just the culmination of everything that led her there?
It feels like a culmination, driven by that internal work and facing those illusions. Then there's that physical confrontation with Kane on the deck.
He tries to undermine her, right? Calling her a failure, saying Brad will leave.
But she defies him, shouts, "Go back to hell." And the text says she actually strikes him.
I heard the son of a bitch, she realizes. That's a huge moment of fighting back.
It is. But his counterattack sounds terrifying, that blast of cold wind.
A magical threat to take her soul. The text quotes her being scared out of my mind.
And she worries that fear is blocking her, stopping her from finding the key,
Which leads her to that visit with Rowena and Pitt.
where she learns that vital piece. The key isn't anywhere until I find it. She has all the power.
So it's not about location, it's about internal readiness, self-acceptance.
Seems like it. Which connects back nicely to Brad's experience with Kane's tricks, too.
Oh, right. The source mentions he used a keyword. Bullshit.
Yeah. To break free from the illusion, it links their experiences, showing that actively rejecting the lie is crucial for both of them.
Which builds beautifully to that incredibly powerful moment of commitment, Brad proposing.
And doing it right there in front of Simon.
Yeah.
Prompted by Simon's own earlier, very direct questions to him.
It's not just about them as a couple, is it?
Yeah.
It's explicitly about forming a new family unit.
Totally. The source describes that touching ritual, Brad putting the ring on her finger with Simon there.
And Zoe giving Brad both her hand and Simon's, saying, we're both yours now.
And Brad's perfect response. We're each other's. The source really frames this as a very conscious, shared decision, building their future together.
And you see Brad's commitment to Simon in that sweet detail about the boot feeder.
Oh, yeah. Hanging Simon's old, maybe slightly embarrassing childhood creation in his own beautiful garden.
It's small, but the source implies it's hugely symbolic, right? A full acceptance of Simon, his past, everything into Brad's world.
Exactly. Beautifully put.
So with this commitment solidified, Zoe's focus sharpens, and the sources show she finally figures out where the key is.
Connected to that portrait, after the spell, hanging in Brad's bedroom.
Which depicts the Daughters of Glass with keys scattered near them. Clever.
Very. Which leads us right to the climax described in the source. Zoe using the key in the lock.
And the text gives us this really intense sensory overload, doesn't it? Heat, light, exploding glass.
Spiraling crystals. And then those 3 blue lights soaring free.
And that profound moment, the source describes the lights settling in their hands and Zoe's realization, we've touched souls.
Wow. What does the source suggest that means?
It's portrayed as this incredible rush of joy, intimacy, a connection on the absolute deepest level.
Amazing. And the lights then interact with everyone else.
Yeah, the men, Simon, even the dogs, before finally settling on Rowena and Pitt, kind of completing the circle.
Right. And when Rowena offers Zoe a boon, anything she wants. Her choice is so telling.
It really is. She doesn't ask for wealth or power. She asks for sisters, brothers, friends.
Demonstrating that the connections, the chosen family she found, that was the real treasure, the more that truly mattered.
Okay, so quest complete. The immediate aftermath in the sources is just this sense of relief. Celebration.
Totally. We rocked, Zoe shouts. Perfect expression of that feeling after overcoming everything.
And they get that final gift box. Silver paper, gold ribbon, 3 gold keys dangling.
Symbolizing their individual successes. And inside, smaller boxes for each of them.
Plus that note from Rowena, acknowledging their success, restoring balance.
And reminding them about light and shadow, right? That the light shines bright because of the shadows they faced.
Yeah, what does that message add, do you think, to the overall themes?
Well, it reinforces that idea that the struggle facing the darkness both outside and inside is actually essential. It's what makes the light, the joy, meaningful.
And then the sources bring it right back to Earth, grounding the magic in real-life happiness. Planning weddings.
Right. Malory and Flynn choosing Valentine's Day. And the clear implication that Zoe and Brad and probably Dana and Jordan are next. Futures being built.
So looking back at Zoe's journey through these sources, it's just this incredible arc.
Absolutely. From feeling trapped, alone, worried about bills, to building a business, finding this amazing chosen family.
Finding deep love, succeeding in a mystical quest that was so tied to her own past and choices.
And what the sources consistently highlight is that her transformation wasn't just, magic fixing things or a sudden windfall.
No, it was profoundly fueled by her hard work, her courage, her willingness to be vulnerable.
To accept support and her active choice in building the family she needed. Even the magic seemed tied to her internal strength, her decisions.
And that initial desire she had for more, what she ultimately found, as the text shows it, wasn't just external success or money.
No, it was deeper meaning, real connection, and finally, self-acceptance. Integrating her past not as a weight, but as part of the path that led her forward.
Which leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? Drawn right from Zoe's experience in navigating those forks in the road, choosing faith over doubt, joy over despair.
Yeah. How much of achieving our own dreams, finding happiness, how much is beating external obstacles, and how much is about understanding our past?
And making those courageous choices when they show up,
Yeah.
actively building the right connections.
Exactly. When life presents you with those moments, those wall or walk decisions, how do you know which path to take?